line by line, word by word, nuance by nuance, so that there would be no chance whatsoever I'd get out here and in the heat of the moment forget all my lines and make a complete ass out of myself in front of everyone. Yeah, balls. Bell sounds signifying the end of round 3. RC says thank God, saved by the bell. Bell sounds again, signifying the beginning of round 4. RC starts reciting the lines from the previous round, hoping to find his place in the script. RC starts panicking, so he rehearses the lines from the previous round, hoping desperately to get back to his place in the script. He meanders slightly downstage right and studies the floor deep in concentration. Now he's doing this as a stall tactic in an effort to convince his audience that he might actually be thinking up these words for the first time, but in reality he's been rehearsing this very script for the last 6 months every single day, and this particular performance marks the 1,162nd time he said these words, so he really should know his dialogue better than it appears he does at this very moment. But then, after several moments of muttering through the stage directions, RC finally remembers his place in the script and returns to the dialogue. Muttering through his own stage directions, RC finally remembers his place in the script.
RC raises his head.
So just a heads up. RC raises his head.
RC raises his head. RC raises his head.
Yeah, so just to reemphasize what I said before, this monologue is not intended to be funny. Okay, I want you to set the bar low on the funny factor here. Okay, because let's just face it, the first time through you do something like this, the first time you perform your own material, it's just universally accepted that it's going to suck. So I want to be brave about that. I want to take responsibility as a stand-up life coach and comedian and face that suckiness head on. I want to embrace my sexuality. Yeah, so, and quite frankly, I don't want to feel obligated to make you laugh every other line. And I don't want you to feel obligated to laugh every other line. I don't want your pity laugh. I don't need your pity laugh. I might change my mind about that in the next couple rounds, but I should just be able to hold your attention by standing up here and letting you get to know the real me. That is RC. That happens to be my secret identity because I'm still too embarrassed to use my own real name. Honestly, things get funnier the more you get to know the person who is speaking. And I know after 15 rounds of this, you and I, we're going to be really good friends. RC takes this moment to make eye contact with several members of his audience so that they can see and feel firsthand the sincerity behind his intentions. Now he does this for as long as he feels he can get away with it, until he thinks he notices someone in the back dialing on their cell phone. Just in case they're dialing 911, RC quickly returns to the dialogue in order to avoid being slapped with another restraining order and to just generally avoid freaking people out. Let's go back to the dialogue. So just this once, I am not going to rely on a comedic gimmick. I am not going to change my voice to create a comedic character for comedic effect. In fact, I am enforcing a no character rule in these 15 rounds. I might get desperate, and if I feel like I'm losing your attention, I may create a character just out of desperation. But every time I do that, I lose the round. I'm disqualified for that one round. And I want to win more rounds than I lose. And really, I should not have to rely on cheap gimmicks to hold your attention. I should just be able to tell you what's in my heart of hearts, and that should be enough.
RC pauses at that moment, for he is distracted by something. He smells a very potent odor in the air. Doesn't take him long to recognize that that smell is his own odor, and believe me when I tell you that, like him, it is far from funny. Now, others might describe this odor as a stench, but he likes to think of it more like a bouquet. But considering the fact that he is slightly altering his voice even now to recite these stage directions, which are written in italics, which could be considered a comedic gimmick, the French would certainly describe the smell as a bouquet d'épicocère. Oh. Ew. Chocolat, ew. This should be interesting. Let's go back to the dialogue.
So what's in my heart of hearts is that I truly do believe that this website that I'm in the process of building, roguecounselor.com, it's got a great opportunity at helping people change their lives for the better. And I'm hoping that in time you'll see it more than just a dumping ground for all my little comedy sketches. And that you'll realize that I'm doing this for a purpose. And that in time you'll see me as more than just a funny face. It really does have an opportunity to help people pursue their goals, live their dreams, and find their own slice of the happiness pie. And I think that's important. I think it's important to have at least one serious theme, one serious monologue in a collection of a comedic library like this, because it helps to purify and sanctify that central message before it gets diluted and lost in all the barrage of the comedic noise that I'm going to be making very soon. And I have a tendency to make a lot of noise. And I'm thinking about my future too, because there might come a time where I want to expand and do more than just perform comedy. Because let's face it, I don't think my audience, the one that's going to appreciate me, is going to be found at the local bar, on open mic night at the local comedy club, where, let's face it, sometimes the jokes are only as funny as the amount of alcohol you've consumed.
RC feels a need right now to demonstrate what it looks like to be doing shots at the bar and getting drunk. Now, what he does not seem to recognize is that this could be considered patronizing and insulting to his audience. But you'll also take note of something else going on at this very moment. You'll notice that he is still reciting his own stage directions written in italics. So that tells you right there he's not exactly paying attention to what he's doing, nor is he playing with his full deck. He's not playing with a full deck. Let's go back to the dialogue.
Go back.
Yeah, so I would love to have the opportunity to tour the country, visit local gyms and health clubs, and do funny fitness workshops there.
Once again, RC engages in the very patronizing act of demonstrating what it looks like to be lifting weights and running on a treadmill, as if his audience had no conception whatsoever about what a gym or a health center was. Let's go back to the dialogue.
So instead of pulling up a stool and shooting back a shot, my audience can slide in on a Swiss ball and suck on a protein smoothie. Yeah.
Once again, RC demonstrates what this might look like for graphic effects simply because he finds it funny. He's holding on to a desperate, impossible dream that perhaps someday, somehow, somewhere, another one might find it as funny as he does. God, he's really milking what can only be described as geriatric twerking. And he's really desperate for a laugh right there as the bell sounds signifying the end of round 4, for he plans on using the pause to segue into a slightly different topic. This should be interesting. Let's go back to the dialogue.
Yeah. That was a very disappointing round. He recovered. His success is very much to my disdain. I am not liking this one bit. So I say he loses the round. Still trying to understand your logic, brother. It was obvious RC was in a lot of trouble at the beginning of that round, but he used the stage directions to recover very nicely. I'm pulling for this kid. He wins the round in my book. Oh, absolutely. Artie started off really rocky, but then he pulled it together and used the stage directions to his advantage. So, he wins the round.